Former Chargers great LaDainian Tomlinson will be inducted into the Hall of Fame this weekend, but Sporting News reported that new Chargers coach Anthony Lynn was blocking LT's former teammates Philip Rivers and Antonio Gates from going to the ceremony. NFL Network later reported that Rivers will not be attending and that the coach Lynn was adamant about having his quarterback at practice on Saturday. Lynn denied the report that he was blocking Rivers and Gates from going to the Hall. Tomlinson also said that it was false. We're joined once again by Ray Lewis. But Skip, let me start with you. Whose side are you on here, Coach Lynn or Rivers and Gates?
I'm on the side of the rookie head coach. I'm on Anthony Lynn's side. You know Anthony Lynn.
I know him very well.
And you're going to be down on Anthony Lynn
very
in just
down.
a moment. But first, I'm going to speak on his behalf.
Okay.
I do not think he ordered his veteran stars to stay in camp and not attend the Hall of Fame induction ceremony for their former teammate, LT. But I do think he suggested or encouraged that they stay, strongly encouraged that they stay. And I'm with him because this cannot be about the past, because the Chargers don't really have a past that they should be all that proud of, because they have no Super Bowl appearances, or they have one Super Bowl appearance, but they have no Super Bowl victories in their past. And certainly with this group, it's time to move forward. And I like the tone he's setting for a team that I like a lot. I'm not going to be shocked if this team doesn't rise up and win the AFC West this year. I'm not going to be surprised. I like this team a lot. If it can stay healthy, which it couldn't last year. But I like the tone he's setting, and he's asking his quarterback and his maybe Hall of Fame bound tight end to set a new tone, to send a new message to the younger Chargers that as much as we love our former running back and as much as we'll go watch it on TV, we can't take off and go be a part of this, because I know it's just one camp practice and you can say, oh, what does it matter? It matters a lot, because he's trying to start a new regime and set a new tone. And I think if he sets it right, they're going to go places, because that defensive line of theirs is serious business. And I think they have enough on defense that if Philip Rivers can have the kind of year he is capable of having and quit throwing so many interceptions, which maybe one camp practice will help a little bit.
Oh,
well, you know it might. I mean, it's just it's a mindset they have not had before. And I admire what Anthony Lynn is doing so far, and you should have the back of your former teammates.
Nope. I'm disagreeing 1,000%, because it's not often. I was very fortunate. Half of my years, I was lined up next to Jonathan Ogden and Gary Zimmerman. Two Hall of Famers. Got a chance to play with this guy who's going to go in next year. Play with Rod Woodson, Terrell Davis. So I'm very fortunate. But the Chargers, I mean, you got two guys. I believe Antonio Gates is going to go into the Hall of Fame. His number, he's going to be the all-time leading receiver in touchdown catches or tight end once he hangs his cleats up. And I believe Philip, at some point in time, his numbers are going to be.
He needs to do something.
But Skip, you trying to tell me that 2 days of practice will equate to how many more regular season wins?
Tone, mindset, maybe a lot.
No, it's not. But hold on. Am I surprised that this is happening? No. This is the same team in 2015 fined Eric Weddle $10,000 because at halftime his daughter was performing on the field and he wanted to watch his daughter play, watch her perform at half, and they fined the man $10,000.
Was Anthony Lynn the head coach?
No,
he was not. New day,
the Spanosis.
New way.
It was the Spanosis because if you want to do something like, I can't even imagine, Mr. Bolden signing off on something. My son out there, man, I wish they might have. He's wrong for this. And I gave Anthony, how you think Anthony got his job?
Oh, you got his
job. I gave him his job. I got it for him. True story. Ask Richard Smith. He was a special teams coach in Denver. I was on the kick return. He was we watching film. I was like, Rich, you want to lead the league in kickoff returns? He stopped the tape, cut the light on. That's what I'm talking about. My all-pro, Pro Bowl tight end want to lead the league in kickoff return. That's the attitude we need. I said, well, you need to take me off it because my man going to make the tackle every time. He's like, I can't say what he said. Lynn, you're up.
Oh.
If I'd have said if I'd have did it, he wouldn't have made the team.
He wouldn't have made
so he owed me something. Let them boys go.
That's a way back story.
That's a way back story.
I gave him a job.
That's what,
I bet he tells that story differently.
I think he tells it a lot.
I want the news media to ask him, did that story happen? As a matter of fact, call Richard Smith.
I believe it happened. I'm not sure what it has to do with anything, but
He ought to do me his favor, let him go.
Yeah, I don't take neither side. I think grown men will figure it out, right? I mean, listen, is this an important day for a San Diego Charger? Absolutely.
Best San Diego Charger ever.
I mean, it's a very important day. And it's a day, whether you say it how you want to say it, it's a day that will never be again. Bottom line. And those moments, I think sometimes we sometimes try to overlook those moments, right? For LT and what he's done. I mean, congratulations from so many different levels. One of the greatest dudes I've ever met in my life, greatest competitors I've ever met in my life. But when you think about schedule, right? Anthony has a schedule, and he wants to stay with the schedule, and I understand.
Go ahead, keep practicing. They just won't be there.
Right,
Keep practicing.
Right, you
Run
got
your
to think.
schedule.
They're on the West Coast. That's a East Coast flight. All of these factors come.
I'm making it.
But the day that
we
we
don't
all
have practice on Saturday. Go ahead.
But the day that we all sit down in a room, and I learned this playing in the game, that coaches really, they just want men to come be men. Just come have a conversation about it. And they will do the best thing, and they will work it out, and I think it'll all be fine. And whether they go or not, I think LT will know where their hearts are.
He will.
And I think the coach does.
I don't want your heart. I want your body in the seat. Dean and Alex Spanos are going to be on a private jet going to see LT.
Yeah.
Antonio Gates and Phillip Rivers should be on that same private jet on a Saturday going to see LT, and they can come back Sunday. Now, I get it. It's going to be a joint practice between the Rams and the Chargers in the StubHub Center. I promise you, it won't be sold out. I promise you will get an opportunity to see these teams play again.
And if it wasn't that, the only thing I would say is there's a way you could probably flex the schedule, right? You can move practice back, you can move it up.
Oh, you can still get it in. Let's see.
Yeah.
This was scheduled since January.
Right.
You didn't find that you were moving till when? So you knew the LT was going into the Hall of Fame. You knew it was going to be on this date, and you chose it. I'm going. I'm going.
So all those players you just mentioned that you played with that went into the Hall of Fame, you won what with them?
I won a title.
Yeah, you won titles with everybody you talked about,
I
right?
did.
Super Bowls.
Yep.
They're up on the mantle somewhere, right?
Yep.
Those trophies are on display at those places.
Yep.
Do the Chargers have a trophy? Does Anthony Lynn want to go win a trophy?
And
Yes,
I want him to win one because it'll be a part of my trophy.
You'll take credit.
Yeah,
for it, right?
I got him in the league.
That is so.
I don't get no credit, Skip.
Yeah.
I give you credit for helping me get Skip. I like Skip Bayless vouch for me. He put his name on the line for me. And I don't let nobody talk. Hey, don't talk about Skip in front of Shark. Hell no, don't talk about Skip in front of Shark. Because I'm going to eat food up. Skip my guy. Antonio Gates, Phillip Rivers, LT was their guy. Get on that plane with the Spanoses and go to Canton. I'll see you there.
It's a special moment. It's
I'll
bottom
see
line,
you
it's
there.
a special moment.
It's a special moment
they will figure it out.
for LaDainian Tomlinson, not for
They
those
were a
other
part
guys.
of it.
They were not really a part
Yeah,
of what? Of what?
great-
What did they do together?
LT
what
won
did they
the
ever
MVP.
really accomplish?
Won the MVP.
Yeah.
LT
All
was
I
hurt.
remember is they got to the AFC Championship game in Foxborough, and LT had his visor on. He's standing over on the
He was
sideline
hurt.
sulking.
He was
and
hurt.
Norv Turner is furious with him. Remember that?
Hold on.
And he wouldn't go back in the game.
I know this ain't the Norv Turner that walked out on the Vikings last year. Not that Norv Turner.
Well, LT wasn't there on
Hold
that
on.
day. I'm just saying, you brought it up.
No,
I'm finishing.
I know good and well. Hold on. Remember my jacket. You know, I'm a Baptist minister speaking. I know you're not talking about the same Norv Turner that was under contract and walked out on Zimmerman and the Minnesota Vikings. Not that Norv Turner.
That guy.
What was wrong with him? Did he have a debilitating illness? So why would he leave that team?
There were circumstances.
I know
We don't
it was
have time to
circumstances.
get into them, but you know there were circumstances.
I know there was circumstances with LT too. He
Yep.
hurt.
Yep. Norv Turner, one of the great coordinators in the history of this league. I'm not going to vouch for him as a head coach.
You can't. He's terrible.
But, hey, the job he did with those Dallas Cowboys back in the day, with Troy Aikman, was special, man.
Yeah, I ain't got no problem with
He deserves to be in a branch of the Hall of Fame for offensive coordinator.
I mean, he might make it for a contributor, but that's not his offense. That's Ernie Zampese's offense now, so let's not give him too much credit. That's Ernie Zampese's offense that was the Rams, okay?
He perfected.
Oh, okay. Just making sure everybody knows. Just for disclosure, I like to give full disclosure up here, Skip. You know.
Well,
if I catch you on Wilshire Boulevard in that Z when I get that demon,
Oh,
you already know what's going to happen.
I don't know. It looks heavy.
it's too heavy.
I'm gonna race you too.
Curb weight.
I don't have.
I mean, you be driving like you in Daytona. You ought to see a roll past me early. I'm like,
you were driving so slow. I didn't have time.
I'm going 50.
You just
You're not
creep
going
along?
50.
I'm going 50.
Yeah,
The
but
limit is
you're
35.
slow.
I'm gonna stay at 50.
I
I'm
knew it
surprised
was
you went
too.
50.
Man, I told you about telling everything. You ain't supposed to tell people
I'm
business.
surprised you went 50.
What happened in the house and in the car supposed to stay there? Why you tell everything?
Right, what he's not saying is the speed limit is like 35.
Yeah. Well, I'm like, who
Still
is
not
that?
fast enough. We're going to leave it there. Ray, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
Should the Ravens sign Colin Kaepernick? Rob Parker joins the debate next.
There's a Mercedes-Benz with Florida plate.